Okay, all right. Well, welcome everyone. This is our Sunday night team huddle, and I am Missy Hides, your National Vice President. And whether you're watching live or recording, I'm just so excited that you are on. And I'm just really excited to share some things tonight with you guys. Um, so just a couple announcements as we get started. We are not going to have a huddle next Sunday night. Okay, it's the last Sunday of the month, so we are going to be working and closing out the month strong, and really working to hit the goals that we have set for ourselves, for our teams. And so we are not going to be doing a huddle. If you are in the Louisville area, we will be having a close night. If you have, your team local to you, I always recommend gathering and just working together. It's a lot of fun. And then we do the Zoom, so you guys can be a part of it if you're remote. So we're just excited for that. So here's the thing. We have had a really great month so far. I think the thing that I am most proud is that our sponsoring is really on pace with our QV. So we talked about that a couple weeks ago, or maybe just last week. I can't remember. We were talking about a paycheck in your comma, that this is the year for the paycheck. This is the year of sponsoring. And so we are doing a good job on that. With that though, we do have a lot of work that we need to get done between now and the end of the month. You might be seeing that in your own business. You might be feeling like, oh my gosh, I have more than a little bit of work to do. I have a lot of work to do, and that's okay. Right? It is summertime, and I am not one to make excuses for summer. I think that you can build your business as effectively in the summer as you can in the fall, in the spring, in the winter, because here's the thing, there's no perfect time to ever build a business. And one of the tips that I heard years ago that was so helpful for me was I heard a national vice president say, success is inconvenient. And when I heard that, I just kind of tucked it away in the back of my mind. And I just really remembered that often, that success is inconvenient. Success is doing the things that you don't want to do. Success is doing the things other people aren't going to do. Success is stepping away, maybe when your family's on vacation, to make a few phone calls or to do a video chat. Success is maybe turning down going to a barbecue, or staying up late, or getting up early, or, just doing all of those things that are required in order to move your business forward. So when you can remember, the 30 days to healthy living, is it convenient? No, not always. It's kind of inconvenient. But does it create success? Yes, absolutely, right? So the same is true in your business, that at times success is going to feel inconvenient. And so summertime is a great time, I believe, to build your business, because people are out, people are social, you're probably traveling on some level, or people are maybe traveling to you, like family is coming in that you haven't seen in a long time. And there's just a lot of opportunity for engagement. Summertime is also an awesome time because people are realizing, oh, I would love to live on vacation all the time. I would love to not have to go to my Monday to Friday, 9 to 9 or 7 to 7 job. When we're in that kind of fall, winter, spring cycle, we don't really live in that same kind of point of freedom or time freedom that we do in the summer. And so when you can start to help people see that they can live this way all the time, and summer really for an entrepreneur doesn't feel much different than fall, winter, or spring, you can really start to help them connect up the dots. So we do have a big job to do in the next 8 days. We have a lot of sponsoring that needs to be completed. We have a lot of QV that needs to come in, and because these are the goals that you all set. These aren't necessarily goals that have been imposed on you on any level, but these are goals that you set for yourself at the beginning of the month. And remember, we don't renegotiate the goal. We don't renegotiate the goal. Right now, if you are finding yourself discouraged or frustrated or feeling stuck or feeling like Missy, I know you say summer's no different, but my kids are home and they're asking for me to entertain them or take them somewhere or give them snacks 97 times a day. And I can't do my business, or we're on vacation for 2 weeks and then we've got friends coming in and then I'm volunteering at VBS, or, all those things. And you might have every reason to renegotiate this goal, but I'm going to tell you, don't do it. Because if you're willing to renegotiate it now, you're going to be willing to renegotiate it every month. And all that's going to happen is you're going to keep delaying every goal that you have set for yourself. If on day 21 of 30 Days to Healthy Living, someone says, I'm just going to renegotiate and I'm going to start over in 10 days and I'm just going to kind of blow the next 10 days of the month, are they going to be successful in the way that they want to be with their health? No, they're not. We know that, right? And it's the same thing in this business, okay? So I'm going to ask you to not renegotiate your goal. I'm going to ask you to lean into your business, and I'm going to ask you to give your very best over these next 7 to 8 days. And what I'm going to talk about in a few minutes is how I believe that we can do that, okay? I want to give a shout out because we do have the Summer Sizzling sponsoring promo going on, and we've got some gals that are just doing a great job. Melanie Lee, Kim Brumfield, Nicole Hines, and Lori Howard. They are doing an excellent job on getting there. Remember, it is over the months of June and July. You personally sponsor. There's really those three levels for 3 different levels of prizes. 15 consultants and or PCs, 20 or 30, okay? And what I love about this incentive is that you might be feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm planting all these seeds right now and I'm not really seeing anything come to fruition. You still have to the end of July to get to that 15, get to that 30. And I absolutely believe that anybody that decides to do that can do that, okay? Speaking of planting, we are in a season of planting. And if you are currently participating in the daily dues, I want to just tell you good job and to congratulate you, because the leaders, we have our own boxing group, and we have all identified that, guess what? This business, it's really simple to do, and it's really easy actually to do the daily dues every day. But guess what? It's also really easy not to do them. It's really easy to get distracted, to get busy, to kind of lift your head and be like, oh my gosh, it's 8:30 at night. How in the world are we at 8:30 at night and I haven't done the few things that I said I was going to do for my business? Okay. So if you are currently participating in the daily dues, keep at it. I was boxing with one of the leaders on the team, and I said, really what sets average people apart from excellent people, like excellent people meaning excellent in what they achieve, not excellent in who they are. But what really separates the average from the achievers, that difference is not doing something for 21 days or for 30 days. That's why we have 30 Days to Healthy Living, because everybody can do something for 30 days. That's why Beachbody does 21-day fix, because everybody can do something for 21 days. What differentiates the average from the achiever is someone who's willing to do those things for 90 days or 120 days, and to not lift their head and to not evaluate and to not look at the numbers and wonder, is this working? Is this not? I'm not seeing the results. I feel like I'm doing all this work. It's the discipline and the diligence to just keep doing the next right thing for a duration of time. Okay, so the purpose of these daily dues is to really help you hone the skills for the 21 days and for the 30 days, to carry you over into day 45 and into day 60 and day 90 and day 120, so that at the end of the year, you're like, I don't even think about my daily dues because they're just so automatic. And when you start to build a business doing the daily dues, and if you're new and you're like, what is the daily dues she is talking about, then get with your upline, get with your sponsor, but it's really just the bare minimum. And what I chose to do with my central team that I'm working with is I let them decide. I let them decide what their daily minimum was going to be, because I'm finding more and more that if we set this kind of requirement and say it's the same for everyone, the achievers are going to go do it anyways. And those that are intimidated by that aren't going to do anything, because most people have an all or nothing personality or tendency. Okay. And people will feel defeated before they even get started. So your daily do is whatever you have and whatever you are willing to commit to doing every day for your business, meaning reach outs, asks, messages, no matter what. And this is not like 20 reach outs a day. This is something very manageable. Okay. So if you are not currently participating with this, talk to your upline area manager or sponsor and get connected, because I can tell you that your leaders, we are finding that this is so helpful, and we are finding that this is creating in us who are already successful even more success and more discipline. And discipline is the bridge that gets you from where you are to where you want to be. So this is not a mystery. This is not magical. This is really a honing of some skills. Okay. If you are participating in the daily do's, be diligent, be committed, keep it as a non-negotiable in your schedule. I can personally tell you that I am tracking my daily do's, and I'm doing, you guys, everything that I'm asking you to do. I don't, as a leader, say, do the daily do's and then like, peace out. I'm not going to do them. That's not how leadership works. Leadership is always leading from the front. It's always modeling and inspiring. So I have a minimum. I reach out to 3 team members a day. Some of you are getting messages from me and you might be like, oh my gosh, why? What's happening? I'm reaching out because I love you guys. I see you. I want to just encourage you and build belief in you. I'm reaching out to 3 customers or preferred clients a day, and I'm reaching out to 3 new people a day. And I can tell you that at this season of my business, I still am giddy when people send me back a message and say, sure, I'll watch a video. Like I had 3 today that I followed up with because I sent them messages, and guess what happens? It's not important for people. They forget, they read about it at work. So I sent people messages because I find a Sunday afternoon, people are hanging around, they're on their phones, they're checking social media more. And I had 3 of those people. One is a surgeon who put tubes in one of my kids' ears. She's a mom. She works crazy hours. And she said, I feel like I'm valuable in the community in her profession, but I've got 2 kids and I work it all the time. I'm in a bind. I didn't know that. I just knew that she's an awesome lady. So she said yes to watching the video. I've got another gal, she's a nurse practitioner, said yes to watching a video. Another gal that I don't even, I mean, I've maybe met her one time 15 years ago. Okay, so it's those things. I still get giddy about those responses. So I know that if I feel that way, you guys are feeling that way too. So keep at it, keep asking, keep being diligent in that, because it will produce a harvest. In your business, this is a principle. You are 90 days away from a different business. And what happens in those 90 days to make that change is the seeds that you're planting right now, and the commitment and the consistency and the focus and the diligence. I tell everyone they are 90 days away from a different business, because this business runs in 90-day cycles. Often when you are seeing something going on in your business right now, you can look back and see what was happening 90 days prior. If right now you're looking at your business and you're like, nothing's happening, look back 90 days and be willing to be honest with yourself. And what was your level of activity or commitment 90 days ago? And if you're like, well, I only started 14 days ago, then good news. You just got to give it a little bit of time, right? You just have to give this a little bit of time. We are not hunters. We are farmers, which means that we plant, we cultivate, and then we harvest. And as we're in this season 2 of cultivating, we're planting the next crop. It's always cyclical, right? But it's so exciting and it's so important. So the 4th announcement that I have for tonight, before we get into the important news that I want to share, is that there is a flash sale coming. I think that's the best way that I can describe it. I can't tell you what it is. Be watching your emails. Some of your emails are maybe going to like trash folders or spam folders, so just be double checking those. It's in regards to a product. insider scoop. If you're friends with me on Facebook, go look at my story, winky face, and you'll figure out what the product is that they are deeply discounting this coming week. Okay, I'm going to be able to announce it and tell you all tomorrow what the product is that they are deeply discounting. And then the sale is going to happen this Wednesday. Okay. This is a product I would recommend you as consultants stock up on. It's one of my top 5 favorite products in Arbonne, a family product. We all use it. I don't like to be without it. And the discount on this product is so significant, and it's in addition to the consultant and the PC discount, that this is a product you will want to get in as many of your PC's hands as possible, because this is like a product that I believe once people use, they will keep using it. It's just a little bit more of a spendy product, and so that's why they're discounting it so deeply, because they want more people to give it a shot, to try it. Okay, so that's the 4th announcement for tonight. Yes, Tara said she can't wait. I can't wait either, because just go to my story if you're curious what it is. I put a little blurb on there for it. But I love this product. Lori Huffman, your family also loves this product, so you know all about it. Okay, so tonight, here's what we're going to talk about. If you were wondering, like, what is this big important news about? Why do, you know, wherever you are in your business, need to hear this? It's because as I have been thinking about where we are in our team, where we are in this business, where we are in the year, and one of the things that I pose to the leaders on this team is something that, again, people who achieve extraordinary things do, is they evaluate why things are working and how they can grow from that point. And we are in a season in our businesses where things are working, and they're working well. And so instead of just riding this train until it stops and then have to reevaluate, like, okay, now what do we do? I want to just grow in this season, and I want to grow exponentially. And one of the things that I believe is going to continue to accelerate the growth that we are experiencing as a team, that you are personally experiencing in your business, and that will continue to foster growth in your business as you sponsor new people. And this is not something new, it is something we've been talking about, but I really felt that this was important to share. And then this morning it was like, you know, sometimes if you feel like I need a sign, like I'm looking for a sign, is this what I'm supposed to share? Like, it couldn't have been clearer this morning, because the sign was so apparent. And so what I want to talk about tonight, and this is actually something, if you have a piece of paper and you have a place to write down some notes, I want you to take some notes, because this is not a nuts and bolts training about the activities in the business. This is going to be some nuts and bolt heart training about who are you. Because who you are, who I am, is what makes up this community. It's what makes up the community and the culture of this larger business that you're a part of. It makes up the community and the culture that you're building in your own business. And the community and the culture that we are growing is simply a reflection of the identity that we carry. Who are we? Who are we? And so it is important that we talk about these things. And I find that these are not the things that are often being talked about. That when people feel stuck in their business, when they feel immobilized, when they feel like they can't, you know, they're avoiding doing the activity, they're avoiding doing the daily dues, when they're avoiding reaching out to people, it's not because they don't know how, it's because they're struggling with who they are. Because when we forget who we are, we will always live below what has already been provided for us. Think about that in your business. This business has provided unlimited opportunity for you. There is nothing keeping any one of you from being a 7, 10, 12, 20 wide executive national vice president. There is nothing from Arbonne that's keeping any of you from having a $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 a month paycheck. There is nothing. There's nobody in front of you that's holding you back. There's no tools that you don't have, right? There's no secret that you don't get until you get to a certain level. Like, it is already provided for you. But most often, why people aren't getting where they want to be in their business and then correspond that into their life is because we don't know who we are. And so we're living less than what has already been provided. So we're going to talk about 3 things tonight, because there are 3 things, and I've talked to you guys about this before, and you might be right now on this call and you'd be like, geez, Missy keeps honing these I am statements and this identity stuff and this who we are. But you guys, if we don't know who we are, we cannot come alongside other people and tell them who they are. And we can't pour belief into people when we don't have belief in ourselves. If your belief tank in yourself is bone dry, you have nothing to pour into somebody else. And how many of you at different times in your business have made a decision to do the next right thing because of the belief that you know I have in you, or the belief that your VP has in you, or your upline has in you, or your sponsor has in you, and you think, I can do this because Missy said I can. I can do this because Lori said I can. I can do this because Tara said that I can, right? Well, you wouldn't get the benefit of that belief if we didn't have it to give to you. And why we have it to give to you is because we know who we are. Okay, so there are 3 things that I want to speak to you tonight about. And if when I say these things, there's anything in you that finds yourself wanting to push against it or not believe it, then I'm going to ask you to, just as much as you can, open your heart and open your mind to this, because this is the stuff, you guys. Because here's the thing, and how this is going to connect to your business. I'm going to lay this out. But we operate out of who we believe we are, not who we say we think we are, not over things that, you know, just little mantras that we have, but what is a core belief of who we are? That is what makes it the difference between, am I doing the daily dues or am I not? Am I sponsoring? Am I not? Am I pushing for the next goal that's scary or am I not? It comes down to these things of your identity. Okay. Am I making good health choices? Am I hiding? You know, all of those things. Am I being responsible with my finances, or am I blowing money on a credit card? You know, whatever those things are, this impacts like all areas of our lives. Okay. So the first thing that you need to hear tonight is that you are accepted. When you know you are already accepted, it frees you from needing the approval of others. So how does this work in your business? Why is it important that every consultant in our team knows that they're accepted? Is because then you're working from being approved instead of working for approval. You're not looking for everybody to be your cheerleader. You're not looking for everybody to say, I totally think what you're doing in Arbonne is awesome. You're okay with the dream stealers and the naysayers and the critics and the critiques, because you're not looking for them to approve what you're doing before you act. When you know you are already accepted, guess what? You're unstoppable. You are unhindered to freely and boldly share what you're doing, to ask, to invite, because you aren't worried about what other people think of you, whether it's great or whether it's not. And most often, what keeps consultants, what is keeping you from moving your business forward, is you're worried about what other people are thinking of you. Am I being pushy? Are they going to think I'm not spending enough time with my kids? Are they going to not think I'm serious about my career? Are they going to think I drank the scammy Kool-Aid of a pyramid scheme? Are they going to think, you know, I'm such a weirdo and I'm going to stop getting invited to social events? Are they going to think I just want to be their friend so I can share Arbonne with them? Right? Are they going to think I'm trying to sell them something that's so expensive that they don't want anyways? Like, these are all, I don't need to reach out to them. They're already successful. What do I have to offer them? I'm not even a district manager yet, and they're a physician or an attorney. They're already making 6 figures. Why would I share this with them? You're not reaching out to them because you're needing their approval. You're needing them to sign off on your life. And if you choose to live your life looking for and needing the approval of other people, you will never get any farther than you are right now. And I know that that's hard to hear and that's harsh, but you are where you are and you will go no further if you are constantly living for the approval of other people. Because the approval of other people is always going to fall short. And when you get the approval of group A, you're going to lose the approval of group B. And when you get the approval of your parents, you're going to lose the approval of your boss, or vice versa, right? So we need to be firm and secure in that we are already accepted. And here's that asterisk part that some of you I know are thinking, and you don't even know that you're thinking this. This is not acceptance on probation. You are not accepted on conditions. You are not accepted because we expect you to perform. You are not accepted because you told us you were going to the very top of Arbonne. You are not accepted because you said you were going to sponsor 10 people. You are accepted beginning and end, period. Please hear me on this. And if right now you're like, I know she's saying that, but no one has ever accepted me for who I am, tonight you are accepted. And tonight, this is your place, and we are your people, and this is the opportunity that you're going to flourish in and grow in ways you never anticipated. Okay? That's the first thing. Second thing is, you're not only accepted, you are valuable. You are valuable. You are valuable because of who you are and whose you are. And you need to walk around and wake up every day and go to bed every night knowing that you have intrinsic value. You have things to offer people. You have love to show people. You have skills, you have character, you have giftings. You simply have a presence that has, again, nothing to do with your performance, and it is valuable. It is so valuable, and you are valuable in this place, in this team, in this community. And you are valuable not only here, you're valuable to the whole company of Arbonne. One of the things that I love about Arbonne as a large culture is that they do these things so well, and they do these things so consistently. And they are continually looking for opportunities to communicate these things to us as consultants. So you have to know that your value, and your value, hear me on this, here's a big one. This is like a hit it out of the park. Your value is not based on how someone else treats you. So when you reach out to somebody and they say, thanks so much for thinking of me, but I'm just not interested, right? Because how many times have we gotten that message? That doesn't take away from your value. When you ask somebody to look at this business and they say, no, like I had a girl tonight say straight up, like, no, like no explanation, no smiley face, no nothing. I said, would you be willing to take a video, look at a video? She goes, no. That doesn't take away from my value, right? And here's the thing too, nothing adds to our value. A promotion doesn't make you more valuable. A paycheck will never make you more valuable, because if you think that growing this business and increasing in a paycheck is going to make you more valuable, you will always be disappointed. Honestly, you guys, all that leadership does is it just magnifies who we are already, the good, bad, and the ugly. So if you're thinking your next promotion and your next big paycheck is going to fix all of the problems in your life, it won't. It's going to fix some of them. Like it'll fix your car or it might fix like a credit card. But guess what? You have credit card debt, not because you need a bigger paycheck. You have credit card debt because you're not managing your finances well for some reason. And the only reason I can say that to you is because I've struggled with credit card debt, because I've tried to make purchases for things to impress people who don't even matter. And I've paid for things to go on vacations with people I didn't need to do that. Like, you know, we've all been there. I'm not saying like I don't understand these struggles, but here's the thing. How someone else treats you, responds to you when you go to a party and you've got a woman there or a man there and they are less than friendly and less than awesome, it doesn't take away from your value. It doesn't take away from the truth of what you're sharing with them. It doesn't lessen the message and the mission because of how they're responding. If I tell somebody about 30 days to healthy living and they say, I don't believe you, that's a them issue. That is not me. And that is not, they haven't lessened the value of the 30 days. They haven't lessened the truth of the program. They have just simply said, I don't believe you. And then that's on them. That's not on me, right? You guys are precious and you are honored. And the one who created you speaks that over you and sees that over you. And that is a part of who we are, because that is a part of who I am. And you will not come into the presence of who I am and what I'm creating without hearing these things, because these are the things that really matter. Okay, the last thing is what I need you to know. And you know this, and you've been hearing this, and you keep hearing it, and you're going to keep hearing it over and over and over again. You are loved. You're not only accepted, and you're not only valuable, but you are loved. And that love is consistent, meaning it shows up every day for you. It shows up every day for you. And that love, per my belief system, comes from our Creator, from the Lord. And it is consistent. It is not inconsistent. Relationships with human beings, as best as we try on our very best day, we're still inconsistent, right? But how you were created, how you were designed, you were created solely to be loved. That's it. And if you've ever doubted that, I'm here to tell you tonight, you don't need to doubt it anymore. You're loved, and you're loved consistently, and you're loved unconditionally, meaning no strings attached, no performance required, no return on investment needed. Some of you know that you're loved, but you think it's tied to a performance. Some of you think you're loved and you've got to prove that you're worthy of being loved. And you don't in this world, and you don't in this team. You are loved. Okay? And here's the thing, you guys, we cannot afford to forget who we are. Because when we forget who we are, we get tossed to the left and to the right, and our emotions take over, and we gravitate to the ups and the downs and the emotional roller coaster, right, of this business, and we're sucked into it because we're looking for the yeses to give us value and give us worth and validate us and make us feel approved of and accepted. And then when we don't get those, it's like we crash into this valley of, I don't even know what I'm doing. I think this is silly. Maybe this is stupid. Maybe this was a mistake, right? And we're in this up and down and up and down and up and down because we're looking for external things to anchor us. And what needs to anchor us, what I'm going to ask you guys to anchor us tonight to move forward as we grow into the summer and from here on out, are these things that we know as a team, as a culture, as a community, who we are, so that when we invite people in, when we invite a new consultant in, we can tell her, you're so accepted, you're so valuable, and you're so loved. And they're on day one going, I haven't done anything, right? But when we have babies, do they do anything? No, they come out and they're slimy and they're crying and they're super needy, but we assign them acceptance, we assign them value, and we love them like crazy, like so much we want to eat them, right? Like love them like crazy. Why does that change as they get older? Why do we lessen that for other people? We're not going to do that, you guys, because this is the thing that the world needs. This is what people are looking for, and this is what's going to draw people to your business. They want to be around people that live this way, that speak this way, and invite them to have this in their own life. And then guess what? Then you get to tell them how to send out some text messages and book an event and sponsor some people and enter in an order. Those are all the silly, and I'm going to use the word silly and simple semantics of this business. But when you look at your business and you've had times of being stuck, I can almost guarantee it's tied to this kind of stuff. That you didn't feel worthy, you didn't feel accepted, you didn't want to deal with the perceived ridicule of others or the judgment of others or the criticism of others. You didn't feel loved, you didn't feel enough, you didn't feel important, you didn't feel like you had influence, you didn't feel like it mattered, you didn't feel like it was significant, you didn't know that you're a part of a team, right? Anytime, I believe, when we have people that are not moving forward and they say they want to move forward and they're showing up to do the things, it's related to this kind of stuff, you guys. Okay? So I haven't recommended a book to us in a long time. It's actually been quite a while since we've done a book, and it's so funny. This message and this theme keeps coming to me over and over and over and over again, because I will tell you guys that this stuff right here, this is what I know that I know that I know took us from where we were to growing to a nation. We created a whole different culture. We created a whole different environment. And by the default of that, the byproduct of that is that we all got busier because we were all freer, because we weren't so concerned about what anybody else thought, because we already knew we were accepted, loved, and valuable, right? So there's a book, two books, but we're going to start with one of them that keeps coming over and over and over again. And for those of us that are going to Green Bay, this was the book that was recommended. And when this was recommended, I was like, oh, I love this book. And this is the book that for me is a great example and a great practical way to challenge us to really embrace these principles and then live out these principles, these principles of who we are. And this is the book. It's called Love Does by Bob Goff. You can get it on Audible. If you've read it before, I'm going to ask you to read it again. I've read it before, I've listened to it before, and I'm going to go back through it again. And I don't know yet tonight if this is going to be something where I'm going to set it up to be like a book club throughout the summer. I'm not really sure. I'll be honest, I just haven't gotten that far yet in this process. But I can tell you that you will not read this book and not be changed. This book, it's like nothing else I've ever read. Bob Goff, is such a unique and special person, and he lives his way he lives his life in a way I've never seen anybody live before. And it's inspiring. And he is the one that I heard say, as leaders, we need to stop telling people, and like we need to stop focusing on and telling people what to do all the time. And we need to just start reminding them who they are and that they're loved. And that came from this guy. So I'm going to ask you to get this book, order it on Amazon, go get it free at your public library, get it on Audible. Somebody probably has read it for free on YouTube and you can listen to it there, right? These kind of things, you guys, don't need to cost you anything. But if you are going to spend your money investing in yourself. Spend your money. This is less than a movie ticket. This is like 2 drinks at Starbucks, right? Invest in yourself and invest in this book. And we're gonna kind of process through this book probably on some different levels. Again, I don't know what that's gonna look like, but this is so important for us to get as a team, for us to get as individuals, because here's the thing. When I look at this team, when I look at the 31 people that are on this team, I'm not looking at the Hides Nation. I'm looking at 31 nations. I'm looking at 31 nations that are going to impact thousands of people. And the message we need to take to thousands of people is that they are accepted, they are valuable, and they are loved. And when we do that, and we invite them to that through this vehicle of Arbonne, they'll explode in their business, and people are going to be like, what's your system? What do you guys do? Like, and we're going to be like, we're just telling people that they're loved. We're just letting them know that they have value, and we're just teaching them that they're already accepted. Right? So that's the important thing that I had to share tonight. So I'm going to check the comments, see if there's any questions you guys have. Anything like that, let me know before we close it out. Okay. All right. If anybody wants to unmute and comment on anything, you can say that. Definitely want you guys to feel free to share. If there is anything, I'd love to hear it. Renee just said, our run with Missy Eyes is so much more than selling really good products. Yes, yes it is. Because we're here to change people's lives. And here's the thing, you guys, we can't go out and change other people's lives when we don't know it. If we're walking around, here's where, and this is getting, maybe, I wasn't even planning on saying this, but when there are people who are leading other people, if they're operating out of the need to be accepted and insecurities, they can't promote the people behind them, underneath them, because they're looking for their value and their significance and the feeling of being loved as being the leader. I don't need to be the MVP to know I'm accepted, valuable, and loved. I can come alongside and say, get past me, go for it, sister, get bigger, get wider, go quicker. But if you are a leader that is looking for your acceptance, your love, and your value from being the leader, you will bottleneck your entire organization, and you will choke them out. And they will not feel free to grow past you, because they will know subconsciously, unconsciously, or maybe very consciously, because of something you've said, it's going to hurt your feelings. It's going to make you feel bad about yourself. It's going to make you feel like you're not doing a very good job. And we can't live that way. We can't invite people into this opportunity and tell them there's unlimited opportunity and then bottleneck it because of our own need to be loved, accepted, and valued. We have to get this anchored in, so then we can come alongside and basically be a big gate and a big open door for people and say, fly to the top, sister. Fly to the top, brother. We're going to cheer you on because we can, because we're not needing our value, our acceptance, or our love from you being a follower of mine. So if you're wanting to grow a really large organization and a really big business and to help a lot of people, these are the principles that you're going to learn to carry. And it's a process, you guys. Nobody's perfect at this deal. We all struggle with it. We all struggle with it. As I've been doing these daily do's, I have found myself struggling with, what are they going to think of me? Are they going to think this is weird? I've reached out to them every year for the last 14 years and they're still a no, Like I had one lady tonight, she's like, I so appreciate your tenacity to keep reaching out to people. That's why you're successful. Thank you for thinking of me. I'm a no. Like I get those messages too. And I can still struggle with, what do people think of me? But more and more and more, I'm growing in a firm foundation that I'm already accepted, I'm already valuable, and I'm already loved. So nobody wants to unmute. I hope that this touched you. If you need to chat about this more, we can do that. If some of this stuff resonated with you before you go to bed and before you turn on Netflix and before you get lost in social media, process this stuff out and find out, do I believe this? Do I believe I'm actually loved, like Missy said? And if you're finding yourself not feeling loved, not feeling accepted, or not feeling valuable, then you need to identify why. Where is that coming from? What lie have you believed? What stories or words were spoken over you? Because there are things, you guys, as adults that were said to us as kids 20, 30, 40 years ago that we're still living in. A stupid comment that was made by a thoughtless person, parent, teacher, coach, and it still has this hold on us of our value or our worth or being loved. Just exchange it. Just say, you know what? They're kind of an idiot. I'm not going to let that define who I am anymore. And I'm going to exchange it with this, because this is where life is. And this is where life can grow. So anyways, love you all so much. Thank you for hopping on.
Miss.
The book Love Does. Yes, Tara.
Hey, sorry, I was muted and needed to get someplace where I had light. But I do have one thing. I know you said somebody could unmute and make a comment. I have a comment. So Miss and I have actually, if you didn't know, we're sisters. So we have had many a conversation about this topic. It's just crazy, you all, how often this is coming up in conversations with friends, with family, at church, individual conversations we're each having. So with people. But what I wanted to just share is something that actually came out of a conversation Melissa and I had with somebody else last Sunday. And that is if you are struggling with these statements, this I am accepted, I am valuable, I am loved statements, then replace the I with somebody's name. Like, if you respect my sister, which by the chat comments, you all have loved this message, or you have relationship with Lori, or have relationship with me, or with Edie or Fallon, or it doesn't matter who it is, like, then input our name and say, Missy says I am loved. Missy says I am valuable. Tara says I am accepted. Lori says I am accepted. Because if you can't say I am without having that like cringe feeling where you're like, I'm not, or like all you hear is like, that's BS, that's a lie, why are you trying to fool yourself? If you say it with someone else's name in front of it, then you're calling us a liar. And that's hard to do, because you know that we believe in you. We know that we love you. We know that we accept you. We know that we find you valuable. We know that we cherish your worth, or we wouldn't be continuing to invest. So just a little tip, if you're having trouble, just put one of our names in front and then start saying it there until that becomes acceptable. And then the transition will start to happen. So that's what I wanted to share.
That's awesome. Yes, that's super helpful. And if this is your first Arbonne call and you're like, holy buckets, I thought I was going to hear about like selling some fizz sticks and 30-day healthy living. We do get to all those things. But every now and again, it is very important that we get to the heart of some issues. And this was one of those things. So I appreciate if you are brand new hanging in, and make sure you get questions answered and all of that. But we just so love you guys, and we're so excited for all of that's to come. So anyways, love you all so much. Have a great night, and thanks for hanging with us.